Hello everyone, today we are going to go over another 2v2 replay. Me and Nev play against Nuggify and Zooted, who I believe is IAMJEFFREY. So as you can see, they're both Conqueror 3, and not only are they Conqueror 3, but I believe at the time of this game, I am about 18 to 1900. My teammate is obviously Conk 1, but Nuggify is almost 2100 and Zooted is 1700. So they got quite a bit of ELO on us and very good players. Do check out IAMJEFFREY. He's another content creator on YouTube, and I believe he streams on Twitch as well. Good guys, very good players. And let's take a look and see how this game goes. So as far as the matchup goes, we both have Ayubids, and they have Malian, and my teammate's playing English. He mostly plays English, so he's very familiar with the Civ, and the idea is to let me fast castle while my teammate puts on pressure and gets them to respond. So we're gonna speed up the early game here a bit. It's just a bunch of scouting, getting sheep. I think I get a little bit, lucky getting his sheep over here, which is kind of nice, and pretty standard stuff, right? He goes pit mine, House of Wisdom, and Council Hall, and my teammates transition to farms a little bit. Okay, so at this point, we're going to probably be the aggressors because Malian takes a little bit of time to get going. So again, our main goal is to see what they're doing, but to apply pressure. So we do see that they have an archery range. So it's not going to be a straight fast castle from the Ayubid player, which I think bodes well for us in our general matchup. I can get to castle pretty safely. I mean, if we have a look at the current resources, I'm already over halfway there. So yeah, basically all the important decisions come right after that. My teammates obviously streaming longbows to the front, and we want to apply pressure in time with my camels, which is what I'm going to go here because the map is bigger. And what's important is whenever you play against Malian, whether it's solos or teams, they have to go out onto the map to get their gold pits or the pit mines. And so we already know that, or we even said to each other, he's probably going to play the top side of the map, because as you can see on the bottom side of the map, there are no pit mine, like no gold veins. So he has to go to the top side, where he has 2, which is very nice, but it's also very susceptible on this map in particular because there is only the one big gold one that is fairly safe. So given that, this is where we can apply some pressure to keep the Malian player behind. Right, and this is very important. You need to do this against Malian players, because if you let their pit mines go unharassed, they will just boom, and eventually kill you. Okay, as we can see, my teammates harassing his units while I am aging to castle. You can see I'm just over halfway to castle now. We have him off the berries, which is nice. He needs to be heavier on sheep, which Jeffrey has plenty of at this point, and I'm calling my teammate Scout to come over to help burn some of these houses down. Okay. In terms of what you can do as a Malian player, I mean, you typically might want to get some spearmen out, and defend this, or put a tower even, but that can be hard to get up, so far out of your base. The Malian player decides to go with Fast Castle because he wants to get into Sofa. So he's going the Corral. I feel like, I don't know what his gold situation was like, but I feel like it would have been better to go with Furimba. But that's neither here nor there right now. And archers are trading off shots right now, which is good for us because we can mass more longbow than he can mass archers. So we're taking my teammates taking some good trades here. Meanwhile, we've burned one house down. We're working on the second. Okay. So now that I'm castle, my main goal is to get armored units out. I don't want to commit too heavily to camels because they can just build spears. So I want to transition into gulams, and then I want to snap up all the relics. Right, this is going to be my eco advantage. Right, English have their farms. Mali have their pit mines. So for me, going to fast castle, it's going to be have to get all the relics, and then I can eventually get off gold and onto food and wood instead. So yeah, at this point, we're just posturing, right? You want to make your opponent, you want to make them feel pressured, because if they feel pressured, they're not going to be able to, get their natural food. They're not going to be able to go out on the map and so forth. And so my first Gulam out that's staying with the army, because one Gulam, and my teammate called this, he said send the Gulam into the woodline and get his woodline idled, right? Meanwhile, the second house is burnt down, but now he has a sofa over there. So a very smart call from my ally. Great player. He was actually recently in one of Drongo's videos, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And unfortunately I lose my scout here, but I do get my camel rider to come up and help continue to burn that. And my Gulams are grouping with his archers, and he's just massing as many archers as possible right now, and I'm snapping up more of the relics. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna kill his sofa maybe. No. I want to see if I can try to find his villager, because I did see it, but unfortunately it ran. Sneaky little guy, this villager. Sneaky little guy. So now I'm also sitting on this relic because I expected him, like the other Ayubid player, to also go fast castle and snap up the relic. So I just wanted to be here to stop the dervish as soon as it got there, because a lot of their other eco is safe. I could have dived in here, but of course I did not know that. And how many relics have I got? 2. I'm working on a 3rd, and my camel lancer's a little bit in La La Land, but yeah, he's putting on pressure. I'm putting on. This is a big moment for us. So I use my camel archer or camel rider lancer. There we go. I'll get it eventually to come fight his knights, and we want to pressure him off of this wood line. And you can see, even though these are castle age sofa, like the longbows still do decently against them, just because he has enough of mass. And this is where we start to pick off villagers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we basically commit to giving up these units. He's also had to pull his army back, and 5, 6, 7. 8. So we've given up these longbows. 9, 10, maybe 11. That's pretty good. So we got 11 villagers for this raid between the both of them. So at this point, we are definitely in the driver's seat because they've done no damage to us. And ideally, what he would want to do is try to return damage with these sofa, but it's going to be a little hard. For him. I am moving out onto the map to find food, but I eventually get a wall up that comes across, and walls are one of the best things that you can do to counteract raiding. I unfortunately should have predicted that he went onto the berries. That could have easily sent my camel rider there, but alas, that did not happen. I'm finishing burning down this house, and then my Gulams get cleaned up by his sofa. Meanwhile, he is castle, and you can see my teammate is still feudal. So what we're doing right now, it's very important, is if you are in a tech disadvantage and you're going to be aging up soon and you have similar mass, you should just keep your mass, right? Keep your mass, right? And that's one of my teammates, right? He's aging up. We're going to keep our mass alive so that when we get to castle, he can get the veteran longbows and fight on even ground. Meanwhile, I'm just continuing to build units. I'm getting walls up. I'm getting the sacred sites. I think I have 3, 4 relics. I should have 5, and then I probably grab another one at some point. I think I do go up to 6 relics. I obviously can see that his army is there, but we're just sitting. Now we're in a very comfortable position. I've got most of the relics. I got a sacred site. I'm now going for this relic even, and they're just still trying to recover from the damage that we did earlier. Right, whenever you're going in with units, you know, you want to try and get eco damage, right? So, you know, what is susceptible to him? His food and gold are not really susceptible because they're in his base. His woodline is susceptible. Berries are kind of susceptible, and berries over here are susceptible. So, meanwhile, they're posturing. They're looking at doing a run by. I see this. My teammate says to pull back. I mean, I probably should have used to block my Gulams to block, but this was still a good decision in the end. My teammate finally hits castle. He dives into our eco, or my eco, and right now I'm just we're fighting now 2v1 on green, and then yellow's at the front. So what I need to do here is chase after his sofa with my camel riders or camel lancers, and have my Gulams stay with his archers that should be getting their upgrades sometime soon. Okay. Yeah, I still, you know, as a point, to keep Molly behind, you still want to hit their pit mines. So I do send some Gulams over there eventually, and you'll see what I do with them. Meanwhile, he's getting raided on the backside, but he's also English, so it's can be very difficult to continue diving. And my camel lancers are now here, so he has to definitely run away. Meanwhile, we are pushing in on the front, as we do have the army advantage. Okay, he's getting another pit mine up, which is good. I didn't even know about this one at all. And these are the two Gulams that I'm sending up, and you can see they're rallied right next to the pit mine, because I still want to add pressure to it, right? I want to make him either dedicate units to defending that, which means that he can't defend at the front, or I want to basically kill all of this. So, because this is a lot of gold income for him, right? It's 131 gold per minute for him, which I think is the equivalent of, like, you know, 3 villagers, but he has, or 4 villagers, 3 to 4 villagers, but he of course has nothing on there. Continuing to chase the sofa. These are now veteran longbow, and then continuing to mass up in our base, right? I'm throwing in a couple of spearmen for the sofa mass. I've gotten a wall up on this side completely, and he went second TC, which I feel like is kind of a mistake, but at the same time he kind of needed to use it to catch up because of the damage that we did earlier. But you can see how that like leads people into decisions which may not be the best. Right, so they're going archer sofa, and we have camel lancer Gulam archer. So we do have the better comp right now, even if we didn't have this many units, and we're just getting them together. And instead of burning this down, what I do, because I'll get the extra wood, or I have the extra wood, I put down a ram, right? And a ram is going to take this down a lot faster than 2 Gulams can burn it down. And I just need to leave them to do their thing, right? 2 Sofa are coming up here, but they don't know where my Gulams went, so what I need to do now is have my main army fight with his archers, and my camel lancers were going to raid, but my teammate calls to burn down the TC, which was actually a very good call, because it's a very forward TC, and you can see he doesn't shoot the TC. He pushes forward to do damage to units, right? Which is what you want to do, and then as soon as we get in there, we turn and fight. Now, because he has slightly more ranged units, and these units are getting all clumped together, I mentioned that we kind of need to pull back, right? We're getting caught in these choke points, and it would be better if we pull back. So I make the call, and we pull back to fight in the open space where we have the advantage. He has a lot of longbow coming in that he actually forgot about because he had them rallied. He's bringing a villager forward to get the benefit of the attack speed. My ram is now done. I'll send that in at some point to continue to apply pressure. And we're, you know, even at this point, it's just range units versus range units. So as long as, and longbow are just better than regular archer, because these are Ayubid archers, not Abbasid archers, so they don't have any inherent bonuses. And at this point, we just have more, so we are winning this fight. My reinforcements come in just as greens come in, and we're in a very good position. Now I'm starting to take this down, so that's very good, and start to get a ram up to ram down his TC. Now at this point, when you feel like you're in control, it's not always the right move to go in for the kill necessarily. What you want to try and do is starve your opponent out, continue to get eco damage, because he has to be out on the map, right? He hasn't done a farm transition, so he has to be out on the map. So what I want to do is I want to use my units to harass where I know he's vulnerable, right? I know the Woodwine was vulnerable from earlier. I do find this, or this, I think, eventually. And so I'm using my Camel Lancers to raid his eco. Okay, I unfortunately lose a couple of units in there, which is not great, but, you know, nobody's perfect, I guess. Perfect. So you see I got a villager here. Probably going to get a second one, because he doesn't realize. Because we're attacking him from the front. And that's a big thing that you want to try and do. Whether you're in solos or team games, you want to try and be hitting from multiple different areas, because he obviously doesn't realize that I'm killing his villagers back here. I guess he realizes now. And because we're fighting at the front, right? He's trying to micro at the front, and instead he's losing villagers at the back. He does get that Musafati in there, I guess. I should have tried to micro to go up here, but that's okay. Meanwhile, his pit mine is dead, so he's not getting any gold at all. I'm killing the rest of his houses. TC's finally down with the ram, and the ram just kind of forces the issue, right? And then they don't feel like they can win, so they surrender. And you know, credit to them. They're both very, very good players, and I think this is like the first time I've won against them, so it was a good feeling for me, of course. But if you did like the video, please like and subscribe. It does help, and you know, I'm fairly new to this, but I'm trying to put out content every couple of days, so you know, your support does help. And yeah, shout out to Jeffrey and Nuggify. Definitely go check them out. I know IAMJEFFREY is on Twitch. Really good player. So yeah, go check them out, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.